The Dolphins have been flipping the script this offseason, and you can see it almost everywhere you look on the roster. Young faces stepping in, learning on the fly, try to make their mark before the window closes. It's been a season of turnover in so many position rooms that you start to expect it. But then you look at the edge group, and it's a different story entirely. That room doesn't just have veterans. It's got two cornerstone starters back in full force for 2025. Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips. Both ready, both healthy, both already proven in this league. And because of that, the dynamic for everyone else in that room shifts. When two spots are locked up by established stars, the rest of the ladder becomes a climb without many handholds. It's a group that's deep on paper, even dangerous if you see it from an opposing offense's point of view. But from the inside, from the perspective of a player still fighting for his place, it's suffocating. There's not much air left to breathe. That's where Mohamed Kamara comes in. 5th-round pick in 2024. Came into the league with the tag every late-rounder carries. Promising, but unproven. His rookie season? Quiet, too quiet. 5 games. 56 total snaps split between defense and special teams. Not exactly a chance to turn heads, even with injuries up and down the edge depth chart. So 2025 was the year. His year. The chance to push his way into the conversation, to at least make himself impossible to ignore when cut-down day rolls around. But here we are. One practice, one hit, one protocol. That's how fast the window starts to close. Wednesday morning, before the team even boarded the flight to Chicago, head coach Mike McDaniel confirmed it. Kamara in the concussion protocol. Not traveling. Not part of the trip. Not in the locker room during the start of one of the most team-focused stretches of the offseason. 11 straight nights on the road between Chicago and Detroit. A rare block of time designed to pull a roster together, make them live as one unit, breathe the same air, share the same rhythm. And he's not there. This is where the situation bites even harder. Missing snaps is bad enough, but missing that kind of bonding period, missing the inside jokes, the shared struggles of long hotel stays, the late-night meetings, the trust that gets built when everyone's grinding side by side away from home, that's more than bad luck. That's a gap that's not easy to fill. Sure, he can join them later. Commercial flight, catch up when he clears protocol. That's the technical part. But concussions have their own pace. You can't push it without risk. And while there's no official timeline, it's fair to expect he could miss most, maybe even all, of this trip. The first half of camp already felt like an uphill battle. Now the hill just got steeper. The cruel thing about this league is that the calendar doesn't wait for anyone. By the time he's back, every rep will matter twice as much. Every drill will carry more weight. And when that pressure piles up, it shows. It changes the way you move, the way you think, the way you try to prove yourself. Kamara doesn't just need to get healthy. He needs to come back and make the kind of impression that erases the time he's missed. That's a brutal challenge for anyone, let alone a second-year player without a secure role. Think about the room he's trying to crack. Chubb and Phillips up top. Depth guys who already know the scheme, who've already been in the rotation. Younger players fighting just as hard, some with better momentum right now. Special teams contributors who bring extra value. The door isn't just narrow, it's almost shut. And now the clock is ticking louder than ever. McDaniel's comments didn't sugarcoat it. He acknowledged the setback, and while the words were straightforward, the reality behind them is clear. This is not a convenient injury. Not in timing, not in impact. The concussion protocol isn't a checklist you rush through. It's a process. Step by step. Symptoms gone. Baseline tests passed. Return to light activity. Return to full practice. Only then can you even think about live reps again. And every step that takes longer than hoped, another day gone. Another chance missed. The Dolphins didn't draft Kamara expecting him to be an immediate star. They drafted him for his potential, for flashes that hinted at a player who could develop into a real contributor over time. But time is a luxury that depth chart battles rarely allow. Every camp rep is an audition, and if you're not in front of the coaches, someone else is. So what happens now? Does Kamara come back sharper, more desperate, ready to throw himself into every snap as if it's his last? Or does the pressure of limited chances tighten him up, make him hesitate just enough for someone else to outshine him? That's the part nobody can predict. Injuries are cruel not just because they take you off the field, but because they mess with your rhythm, your confidence, your edge. This isn't a storyline that's going to lead SportsCenter. It's not going to dominate the headlines in the middle of August. But inside the Dolphins building, it matters. Every spot on that 53-man roster matters. Coaches lose sleep over these decisions because cutting the wrong guy can haunt you when depth gets tested in Week 12. Kamara still has a shot. That's the truth. A smaller shot, maybe, but it's there. If he comes back before the end of camp, if he shows something undeniable, speed off the edge, relentless pursuit, maybe a flash on special teams that changes field position, he can force himself into the conversation. But it's going to take more than steady play. It's going to take moments. Plays that make the coaches look at each other and raise their eyebrows. And here's the thing about moments. You can't script them. You can't plan for when the quarterback will hold the ball just a fraction too long, or when the lane will open for a clean shot. You just have to be ready. That's the challenge for Kamara now. Every rep he gets when he's back will be an opportunity to create one of those moments. And the margin for error? It's almost zero. Chubb and Phillips will get their reps, their rhythm. The rotation behind them will keep building chemistry. The preseason games will come and go, and the staff will be making notes on who's ready, who's reliable, who's expendable. That's the reality of camp. For Kamara, every day away from that process is another day the coaches are learning to work without him. Nobody's writing him off yet. Not publicly. Not inside the locker room. But the whispers will start if he's out too long. The what-ifs. The do we need the extra body elsewhere? Conversations. And those talks get louder when roster cuts are looming. Kamara's story for 2025 was supposed to be about growth, about turning the page from a rookie year where he barely saw the field and proving that he belonged in the rotation. Instead, the narrative is already shifting toward survival, toward whether or not he can make up enough ground in the small window left before the team makes its final decisions. That's the thing about the NFL. The difference between being part of the plan and being part of past can come down to a single bad break. And right now, Kamara is living that reality. The question is whether he can flip it back in his favor before it's too late.